All right. Well, thank you for joining me today. I'm super excited to do this with you guys. I know it's something that we talk a lot about having a 36 touch plan and some sort of marketing system, but then we don't really go in depth with you guys on like what that even looks like, right? We say a lot like you need to reach out to people 36 times a year, and it's like, okay, great. How? Right? So I have a couple of examples that I'm going to share with you guys. But again, I wanted this to be a workshop, brainstorming session. What's actually working for you if you do have a 36 touch system or any sort of touch system currently. And just remember that the examples I'm going to show you are from some really large teams. So there's say like, I think we have numbers anywhere from a 40 touch system to like a 52 touch system. I don't really expect that, right? So all the ideas I'm going to throw at you today, really think about what you can do and what makes sense for you and how you communicate to people in your business, right? It has to feel natural or you're not going to stick to it, right? It's much like a listing presentation, right? If you can't explain what's on the paper in that presentation, they're going to look at you like, what are you doing, right? Why are you fumbling through this? So all the communication that you put out to your clients, it has to make sense in your own words, right? It has to be genuine to yourself. So think about that as we go through some of these examples. So who currently has some sort of touch plan? Anybody?
We all have the smart plans in command.
Yeah, there's a lot of great smart plans in command, and
You froze.
we're going to show you how to really automate a lot of that in command. That'll be in March. Okay. All right, so I'm going to start. I have two different things to show you. One's a 36 touch plan as far as like communications to your sphere, and the other one is like social media calendars, right? Because a lot of times we're like, I know I need to post something on Facebook, but I have no idea how frequently I should be posting or even what to post, right? And we can't just only post houses for sale, right? We need more than just that. So those are kind of the two pillars that we're really going to talk about today. All right, I'm going to share my screen here. All right, so this is one example of a 36 touch program. This is from, again, another large team with Keller Williams. They actually have two systems here. The first one they have is a 40 touch program. Okay, so a little bit more than 36. And they're calling it a 40 MET touch program. So what's a MET?
Anybody you've had a two-way conversation with.
Exactly. So it's a person that you've actually talked to, right? You've met them in some way. And then so this is for, I've talked to you, we've had some sort of conversation about real estate. Either you're maybe a past client or you're a lead that I've been talking to, and I just need to keep pouring into you so that you remember I exist, right? You need to remember that I exist and I'm a realtor and I'm a really great person and you're going to love me and you should totally work with me. And how do I go about that? So their program starts with email newsletters. Okay, so this is a once a month newsletter, hyper local content. So and planned it out. What are our themes?
You totally froze. I don't think anybody heard you.
Oh,
Yeah, you're going in and out.
sorry guys, it's probably my internet. All right, you can hear me right now, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what did I leave off on?
Email newsletters.
Yeah, okay, so they're going through this hyper local content, and then they actually picked a theme for each month. So they went ahead and planned that out in advance, right? So you can take the time now to sit down and go, okay, what is February's theme? And they're pretty easy if you stick to the holidays, right? And people expect that. They know the holidays that are coming up. But then also there's some things in here. June and July, they did a rodeo and then photos from the rodeo. So they're holding like a client event, which is a rodeo, and they're holding another client event for this pancake breakfast, right? So they're tailoring, instead of doing 4th of July stuff, right? They're tailoring it more to what they're doing as a team, right? But for individual agents, if you're not holding client events yet, definitely you can focus on the holidays through these months. Okay. You can definitely use the email smart plans in command, right? Like the monthly neighborhood nurture, that's a monthly email that goes out, but it's basically 12 email newsletters over the course of the year is the first part of their touch program. The next piece to get to 40 is these 2 events, right? So just inviting them to the events, holding the events, seeing your people live, that counts as a touch, right? So if you're not holding these 2 events, you're probably gonna be closer to a 36 or 38 touch program if you mimic this one specifically, right? The next one that they do is a monthly postcard, the last Friday of every month. And it's all about proof of production is what they're calling it, right? But like, here's our recent sales, you know, or other fun statistics maybe you can pull from the MLS if you, you know, you sold a lot in a certain neighborhood, right? Or maybe you had the highest sales price in the neighborhood to date, right? It doesn't have to just be like, here's the 3 properties I sold this month, or, you know, here's some of my production. Kind of make it special about yourself, okay? Now, this might not be something that you can do on a monthly basis or that you feel comfortable doing monthly, and that's okay, right? We're here to talk about the ideas around 36 touch programs, help you think of activities that you can do and then implement. And then they also have the 12 neighborhood nurtures. So this is that smart plan in command that they're referencing, that monthly smart plan. So once a month, everybody in their every one of their clients will get an update about what's going on in their neighborhood. They also utilize the birthday smart plan in command and the home anniversary smart plan in command for their past clients. If you use the birthday smart plan in command as it's laid out, it's actually 3 touches. The home anniversary smart plan is 2 touches, right? So you can see how like utilizing smart plans and all these touches kind of compound on each other. So put yourself in the client's shoes, okay? You're getting 1 to 2 emails a month. You're getting a postcard from them once a month. You're being invited to special activities that are fun and unique based on where you're at. I don't think we do too many rodeos around the Southeast Wisconsin area. And you're getting loved on for your birthday. And if you're a past client, you're getting loved on for your home anniversary, right? And it really starts to add up because these are all deposits that you're making into your people's lives. And this is beyond the, I'm going to call you every now and then and have a cup of coffee with you, right? That has to all be a part of your plan as well. So this team is actually interesting. They have just the 40 touch program for, I don't really know you that well. And then they have a 56 touch program for what they're calling their VIPs, okay? So for you, those are probably past clients, or maybe it's somebody who just refers a bunch of business to you, right? Maybe you've been connected with a lawyer and they're sending you a lot of clients. That lawyer is a VIP. They might not ever buy or sell with you, but if they're sending referrals your way, they better be on your VIP list, right? So here they have 4 extra: email, text, social media, save the dates, right? So we might possibly do a New Year's party. We might possibly do a derby party, right? The pancake breakfast, the rodeo. They're doing additional touches to really make sure those people show up, right? Then these broadcasts here are during the parties, right? So they're doing like live broadcasting. So you can think of these as maybe like Facebook lives that you can do during the events. Familiar with slide broadcasts? If anybody is, feel free to jump in. Then they're also doing 2 additional events on top of the other 2 that we saw in the 40 touch. So this team is actually doing 4 events a year, 2 for everybody, and then 2 for VIPs only. Again, it's a larger team, but just kind of think about how you can start engaging with your database at a higher level. Then they also send out thank you cards after the events to their VIPs. So, you know, as you grow, if you are inviting 100 people, send out 100 thank you cards. I mean, it might take a little while, your arm might get sore. And then they're sending Christmas cards or holiday cards out to their VIPs. What are your thoughts on this touch program?
More of a question than a thought. Who do we consider our VIPs?
Yeah, so your VIPs are the ones that you're going to trust to help you grow your business. It's the ones that you can really rely on. So a lot of times for most agents, their VIP list includes past clients and past clients that are still in the area, right? So if your seller moves to Tennessee, they might get knocked off your VIP list, right? But so past clients that are still around, that maybe in 4 to 6 years, they'll call you again to sell and buy. And then, like I said, you know, if you got involved with a lawyer or I don't know, maybe your dentist loves you and refers you a bunch of people, or, you know, if you recently got married, maybe you've connected with your wedding planner to give you referrals, right? The people that you can entrust to help you grow your business.
I will jump in and say this is an area that I am lacking that will change in the next 30 days. And the reason why it is critical is because I'm good at setting up the MLS, you know, to get, so my client gets the bounce backs of the new listings, but that's far and few right now. And so without this, and if you're not consciously reaching out to them, they're not hearing from you. And then they feel like you're MIA. So you have to do something like this, and it has to be automated or you'll lose your mind. It's too much. We all have so many buyers that we're juggling right now and stalking new listings. And I've not forgotten completely, but you kind of forget certain things along the way. And it is true. Automation is the whole survival to this gig.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Nada. And if you don't have a plan written down, though, what are you going to automate, right? And I think that's a big, in my opinion, is that a lot of agents say, I need to enact a 36 touch system, and then don't ever actually write it down. What does it actually look like for you? And then we can take everything that we've written down and input it into Command and other automated systems.
Word for me. If you suspect you have been
Right. Okay, so I'm going to jump over to another 36 touch from another mega team. Actually, it's Scott Klass's team down in the New Berlin area. So there is a little bit different. They utilize spreadsheets. They also they turn their 36 touch and then they actually convert part of it into a budget. So they know exactly how much money they're spending on some of these touches. So you can see they have a couple different columns here. The first one is about calls, and they're making 4 phone calls a year, right? So a quarterly call. And what's really unique about their phone calls is that each quarter the call has a purpose behind it, right? So we've all seen that video, Simon Sinek, Start With Why, right? And we talk a lot about our big why are we in real estate? But we also have to apply that in our communications to our people, right? Why are you calling me today? Oh, I'm calling you for this reason, right? So before you pick up the phone, why are you calling people? If your phone call is really to just say, hi, how are you? That could work. And at the same time, know that it might not drive a well-rounded conversation, right? It might not engage them as much as you're wanting it to. So their 4 phone calls all center around some sort of like event that they're holding, right? So they do a happy hour, a movie contest, another happy hour, and then pies or photos with Santa or something like that. Okay. Then they're holding 5 events a year. Now, I would say that even if you're a brand new agent, you can probably at least hold 1 event. Hold a happy hour or hold a pie day for Thanksgiving. Have all your friends. Okay, there's things that you can do that aren't necessarily about past clients, right? You can still make an event happen. Does it need to be 5 events? Not necessarily. This system here, it's called a 36 touch system, but they're at 42, right? So if you lower that to only 1 event instead of 5, you're at 38 touches now. Okay. The next one is sticky mailers. Do you guys know what a sticky mailer is?
Something you can just stick up on your refrigerator.
Yeah, it's something that they're going to keep for at least a certain period of time, right? So they put a sticky mailer out in January with like a monthly maintenance schedule for your home. Check your air filter this month, check your smoke detectors this month, you know, check your dryer lint vent this month. Okay. They're sending out brewer magnets. So magnets that people can stick on their fridge with the entire brewer schedule for the year. They're sending that out in March. They're doing the home and garden show tickets. Have you guys heard about the home and garden show tickets that you can do?
Got mine ordered.
Yeah, yours ordered? Okay, so if you give the GMAR a call or email or something, you can order tickets to the home and garden show that are branded with your name and your contact information. And then you just hand them out to people for free, and people have then free tickets to the home and garden show that's coming out.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm. They got
What
it
is
in
that?
their, they got it, they push it out in their newsletter every couple weeks or something.
I must have missed it. I typically read through most of their stuff, but I must have just totally spaced on that one.
It's a big picture with a garden gnome on it. If you kind of like look at
Oh,
it. real
sure.
quick.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw it. I didn't open that one up, and that was my big mistake. It's not too late, is it?
No. I think last call is somewhere in March
Okay.
to buy them. See how
How many did you guys, I mean, how many do people order?
I ordered 200 just to try to cover probably about 50 or so people, because I imagine they'd want to take friends or other people.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, I would plan on giving 2 to 3 tickets away to every person, just
Okay.
so they can bring people with them. But it's relatively cheap, right, Tammy? How much was 200?
Yeah. It was $40 with tax, I think, and then you only get charged up to 25% of each 100 tickets that get used. So if 100 people cash in, you're only paying for 25 of them. So max for me would be like $200 I'd pay out if 200 people. Or I'm sorry, 50 people. Use the tickets. It's like $4 a person, I think, or something. You'd pay.
So then are you guys doing email blasts to your sphere through command to like let your sphere know that you have these available? Like, is there something in command that's already mocked up that we could leverage it? Or how do you suggest we approach that, Kathleen?
Yeah, so I mean, command's not specific to our market center, right? So I don't think there's anything mocked up there, but you can definitely, send an email out to your entire database, or you can go through and at least like tag the ones that you want to send this email to, and then email out to an entire tagged group. And then Facebook, honestly. I mean, just post it all over Facebook that you have free tickets. Who wants one? Send me a message.
Yeah, no, that part of it is easy. Okay, cool. Thank you.
They did,
Yeah.
they did include like a flyer that you can download. So if you
Oh,
go to
cool.
if you click on the link in their email and take you to their site, you can download a couple of marketing things.
Cool.
And then Kathleen,
ahead.
I did put in the group chat, can we get a copy of the Excel spreadsheet from class, this one that we're looking at right now? I just like the way it's organized. It's super handy.
Yeah, for sure. I'll send it out. I will. And then let's see, what else are they doing? Other invites, festival schedules, a Christmas card, end of year recap. Those are like the sticky mailers that they're focusing on. You could do the Packer schedule, Bucks schedules, right? Every time those schedules come out, they're coming out about a month before or 2 months before the games start. So you have enough time to get these magnets ordered and then out to your sphere before they actually would use them. And then, I mean, the Bucks schedule, when do the Bucks start? In like September, and it goes to, playoffs are in June. I mean, that's a long time for a calendar to be on somebody's fridge with your face on it. Right. And every time somebody comes to their house and they see this cool schedule of all the Bucks games, you're like, oh, where'd you get that from? Be like, I from my realtor. Here's her number. She can get you one, So sticky mailers are, there's a cost associated, right, to getting them ordered and printed and mailed and everything. However, it's a constant reminder to the people in your sphere when they have it on their fridge, right? They're constantly seeing your face and your name, as they walk by every time.
Kathleen, do you know if there's going to be new postcards designed for 2022? Like the fun ones like they had in the fall? And
yeah, unfortunately we didn't get to them before Lindsay went on leave, but when she comes back, I'm sure we'll be working on getting some more for Q2 ready for you guys. There's some like generic ones that you can use in the meantime, if you want to leverage that. And then yes, we'll keep working on that stuff for you.
Okay. And do you have any idea what their Ready for a Yeti contest was? I'm intrigued.
Right?
I have no idea. Yeah, probably you had to enter to win and you won a Yeti cooler or something. So, but just think about, it probably was something like where you have to share the post and comment on the post and tag 3 friends and stuff to really gain attention and momentum. That's really what all this is about. So, whether they got any leads from it, maybe. If anything, it just drummed up their brand.
Yeah.
They're doing a monthly mailer, so an actual physical piece of mail. You could do a postcard if you want to keep the cost down a little bit, and then also really be able to leverage a postcard versus having to like stuff envelopes, right? And then they're doing emails at least once a month. And a lot of those are, centered around their events that they're doing. So this team is very events centric, should we say, right? So a lot of their communications revolve around an event of some sort. But that's kind of how they've planned out their 36 touch system. And when I send this out to you guys, there's actually some blank tabs on here. So you can go and make it your own and fill it in. So this is just kind of a different view of everything that they have on their first. So it's just a different way of looking at it. They have, the dates outlined here. So January, we're doing a call. What's the call about? We're not doing an event. We're doing a sticky mailer. What's the sticky mailer about? we're doing a postcard, and we're doing an email. And what's the email about? Right. So this to me makes a little bit more sense I can't just wait until January 3rd to hop in and try to get all this January stuff done, right? The sticky mailers, the postcards, all this stuff is curated probably in November, right? So you need to start thinking about, yeah, maybe I can do a couple of touches for February, but really, what do I want to do for March? What's a sticky mailer I can get for March? Which they're going to do a brewer magnet or the home and garden tickets. That's a sticky mailer, right? Something they have to hold on to for at least a few days. So how are you going to leverage March to the fullest with your 36 touch? And however view you like, just make sure it makes sense for you. Then what they've done is they've turned it into a budget. So there is a blank one on here as well for you to use. And they have, I mean, this is in 2019, so these costs have probably changed. But they're like, okay, if we hold a happy hour in March, we're going to budget about $300. We're going to get $250 worth of sponsorships, invite a lender or somebody to help, right? So you're on the full cost of it. We're budgeting $25 per person. We're going to invite 75 people. And so this is what the cost is going to be, et cetera, et cetera. The home and garden show tickets, like Tammy said, they're $4 per person. We're going to invite 500 people. So the max it's going to cost is $2,000. But we're also going to put some in the mail. So we know we're going to spend about $300 mailing. So this all kind of makes sense how they've broken this out. So you can play with these numbers if you want, but you got to have a budget too. You have to be really conscious of how much money you're spending on these, right? So think about it a little bit. What can you do? And I think this is great just to help you with your brainstorming, right?
This is great. I love this Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah.
I don't think like this. So are you able to send us all these?
Yep, they're all in one spreadsheet, so you're gonna get it all.
I know, I'm like, oh my God.
Yep.
It's gold.
So like this, every month they're sending that, I'm on this line 19 here. Every month they're sending this from your friends letter or whatever in the mail. And so they're just looking at the cost of postage for all their entire database and what that cost is, So they have 1,100 people in their database. The costs are probably going to be a little bit lower for most of you. But I think if I adjust this, there we go. So if you had 400 people in your database, if you follow this plan per person, you would spend $50 a year per person, right? They have 1,100 in their database, so they're spending, this is $31 per year per person because obviously, with bulk costs and things like that, it gets a little cheaper per person, right? But they're still spending $34,000 on a 36 touch system for 1,100 people, right? So I'm not telling you in any way, shape, or form to go spend a bunch of money on people, okay? This is all brainstorming, right? These are just ideas that are out there in the universe. What works for you, what doesn't work for you, what can you commit to, right? So those are my examples of 36 touch systems. What are you guys thinking about those overall?
I like the layout of it. It makes more sense, easy to track.
All three of them.
Yeah. What are some of the ideas you like? What do you think you might implement?
The free ones.
I'm with you.
All of those for sure. I mean, calls are cheap. That's time. Anything you can implement through a mass email. I just learned that, maybe you told me this, Kathleen, you get 2,000 emails per month through command. Because I was trying to figure out between MailChimp, and what was the other one? Constant Contact. And someone's like, well, how many are you gonna send? You get 200 or 2,000 on the house. So leveraging
Yeah.
that is super important.
And you
Mhm.
can upgrade the command account. So if you needed like 5,000 a month, you could upgrade it for a pretty nominal charge.
That's cool. Though,
Yeah.
like, I don't know how I missed that. Is there like, so I think I asked this maybe of you, Kathleen, is there like some tidy reference document that you're smiling? That's
Yeah.
already a no with it.
No, there are some things. If you checked out the website answers.kw.com, there's a lot of just like how-to sheets on there and little how-to videos that are only like, a minute and a half long. So you can kind of search for what you want to do, right? And it'll give you just this little how-to sheet on how to do it.
Where did you say
Right.
that was?
It's answers.kw.com.
But I feel like, okay, as part of our cap, like that's a huge like check mark. Like this is what you get, it kind of is your reason for being, for walking into the brokerage, among other things, obviously. You're at the top of the list, Kathleen. And Diana too. But so what else am I missing? If I didn't know that, what else don't I know that I should be leveraging, I guess is my biggest question.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's why we have tech trainings every week, right? Those are all command focused on things that command can do and how
Okay.
to leverage that in your business.
Sure.
And also, like, just don't be afraid to go poke around in command. It's a beast. There's a lot. And I was sitting with an agent for an hour and a half yesterday, and we barely scratched any of the pieces of command. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so for us to say, here's everything command can do, I would be talking to you for about 6 hours straight, which I could do. I would love to do it. But
There's a
There's a lot.
YouTube channel.
I was just about to ask if I can interject because if you search 66-day challenge on YouTube,
Yes.
he'll walk through it day to day for like short, like 8 to 10 minute videos for
Okay.
66 days that'll walk you through in depth everything that command has to offer. So if you invest that time in it, you'll have a well-versed understanding of everything that command brings to the table.
yeah,
What did
so
you say that was
Marty,
under?
It's called 66-day challenge.
it's by Marty Miller. So Marty Miller is a tech coordinator, and he's actually Lindsay Vranick's coach. So we talk to him once a week, and he tells us all the cool things that command can do. And he has this video series called the Command 66-Day Challenge. And so each series has 66, basically 3 to 5 minute videos. And so you can knock out one a day. You can knock out 4 a day, right? If you want to take a little bit of time. But if you start with his most recent set, I think he's on like set number 6 or something. Because command has evolved a lot in the last like 3 years, so you don't really want to watch the super old videos. But he starts with like a video on like how to log in, right?
The
And then
66-day challenge, is that what we're searching for? And then what was his name again? I'm sorry.
Marty Miller.
Miller. It's 5. The latest version is 5.0.
I think
5.0, okay.
I think the YouTube channel is under his name, Marty Miller, isn't it?
Right. If you just type in 66-day challenge, though, the video
Yeah.
playlist will pop up.
Okay, great. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I just put it in the chat too, so you guys can copy that and search for it. And then, our own YouTube channel. There is, a year and a half worth of tech training videos from Lindsay on there. A lot of how-to stuff. And tech training right now is on Zoom, so there's more that's being uploaded that's more recent. So the last one we uploaded was all about designs and campaigns in command. So it's out there, and we're really trying to work with you guys on diving into it to help you understand all the content. It's a lot though, and I totally understand that command's kind of a beast. Don't be afraid to go in there and just click around too and see everything that can do for you. As long as you don't enter in your credit card information, we can undo whatever you did. So just go and play with it.
Kathleen, for a monthly newsletter, is there a design, a preset design or smart plan that you would recommend?
So I know that the KW group actually makes a quarterly newsletter. They publish it the second month of the quarter, so they just publish quarter ones, which you can go and really just, it's like a 12-page magazine. It's a quarterly magazine, and you can go and decide which pages you want, or you can just do the whole thing, and you can brand it to yourself, and then you can email it out. You could actually send it to a printer and get it printed in a nice magazine and mail it to people. Obviously the cheaper way is to just email it. So I know KW does that.
And that's in the designs?
Yep. That's the quarterly magazine that's in designs. I don't think they do a monthly version of that though. So that's another touch you can add as well. And remember, like I said earlier, we're going to have some training next month, specifically once Lindsay comes back, on automating a lot of this 36 touch system. But you can go ahead and start working on your touch system. We don't have to wait until it's all completely automated, right? We can go ahead and start doing mailers and start thinking about holding events and what that looks like, and what kind of communications do we need to do before the events to drive attendance. There's a lot of stuff that you guys can implement that's not necessarily about automating it in command. But if you are comfortable with some pieces of command in getting some of this automation going for you, then, definitely dive into it. All right, anything else about the 36 touch system that you guys want to mention? If not, we're going to look at the social media side of things.
I am so lost on setting this all up and getting it going for myself. Any suggestions on how to I'm just lost.
Yeah. So, I would think that, I know it's hard, and this is the struggle. This is why most people don't have a 36 touch system. So you are not alone, I promise. When you imagine, loving on your people, what does that look like for you?
Just touching base with them on a monthly basis, giving them some warm and fuzzies, letting them know, that I'm thinking of them, or, they're, just making sure that they know that I still want to keep in contact with them.
Yeah. So maybe, instead of mailers, whatever this means, maybe you're more thinking of a handwritten card or something, right? Because maybe that's a little bit more your style. I want to just send them a thinking of you card. Hey, I was thinking about you, here's some love in a card.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're still going to call them once a quarter, or you're going to take them out to coffee, right? These are just ideas of it. And a team's 36 touch system is structured around a lot of admins, right? There's a lot of behind the scenes admins that are doing this touch system, right? So for a single agent, I get that you're probably not going to hold this many events, because just communicating about upcoming events would be a full-time job, right? But maybe you could at least think about doing the Pie Day for Thanksgiving. And you have a handful of months to start thinking about, what does that look like? What kind of communications am I going to send out? It's just all about thinking ahead of how we're going to love on our people.
Can I just offer some? Oh, sorry, go ahead. No, you go.
I was just going to say, and doing it in more than just one way, right? We can't just call people all the time and expect that to be enough. So it has to be like a multi-pronged attack of love.
Right.
Right. What were you gonna say, Nada?
What I was gonna say is some of this you're probably already naturally doing and you don't realize it. So calls are great if you time block it, but also maximize the conversations you have with people randomly. If you have to go to the doctor because you're not feeling good, or you're by your dentist and you take something that you've already created, or you have a flyer. But I would also say, like, I've done PR and marketing as a trade for a living for 25 years, and this is a lot because normally you'd have a team. The way I'm looking at it is, okay, if I can't at least get something formulated for, like, okay, the 36 point, maybe be like, okay, I'm going to send a newsletter out quarterly, or at least once a quarter an email out to everyone. Okay, that's 4 touch points. You got to talk to people, and that might be a text, it might be a call, it might be an email, depending on who you're conversing with, and that counts for something. And then you start small, you get your quarterly going, and then maybe that rolls into more frequency as you get familiar with it, and you keep building on that. It might take a year or 2 to get to this amount. You know, these are well-oiled machines that you're seeing here that have been most likely years in the making, or they're spending a lot of money with administrative assistants that can execute it. And most of us are just small business owners.
Yeah, I mean, exactly, Nada. And if you develop a 20 touch system right now for yourself, that is 20 more touches than you were probably doing beforehand.
Right.
Right. So yes, this looks like a lot, and it is, and there's a lot of people that are involved in this touch system, and that's okay for you. Do what you can do. Right.
Thank you.
Okay, so then the next pillar that I wanted to touch on today is social media, right? And I have 2 different examples, and I might just show you the one because I'm not really sure the other one makes any sense. It doesn't to me. But this is a calendar for an entire week of what to post on social media. Okay. If you're not going to post regularly on social media, whether it's Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or whatever medium you want, okay, if you're not going to regularly be on there, it's probably not going to be worth your time. I'm just going to tell you right now. Because if you're going to only post once or twice a week, the algorithm will never pick you up. It'll never send your stuff out to people. Okay. You have to be a machine on social media if you want to leverage your brand through social media. Does that make sense, guys? So really decide, is social media the right method of contact for me? If it is, know that you're going to have to put a lot of effort into it as well. Okay. So this is a sample calendar, and this will get sent out with the touch system there. Mondays, it's actually 2 posts a week every day, or 2 posts a day for the week. Now, this is probably pretty heavy for a single agent. You could probably scale this down a little bit, but I would say you at least need to be posting 4 to 5 times a week on social media. And this kind of just gives you ideas of some of the content that you can post, and put a system behind it, right? So for example, Wednesday, past client touch shows some sort of ongoing relationship with a past client, right? So maybe Wednesdays are your client appreciation, love on my client post days, right? And just say Wednesday, every Wednesday, there's going to be a post about me loving on a client. Okay. You know, if you're going to hold a bunch of open houses, pick a day of the week to be, here's the open house. And notice that this isn't, here's the open houses I'm posting. It's like, hey, go check out this house. There's an open house today, right? I mean, you can do that. If you're not holding one that weekend, that doesn't mean you can't post an open house for somebody else, right? Because you're still sharing some sort of real estate content with the people that are following you on social media. You know, Facebook Live, give a video tour at a property. This is actually easier to do if you just go and hang out at open houses. right? You can get some videos, Facebook Live videos of you at people's open houses. Maybe in the backyard where there's not too many people walking around. Local expert, share a piece of content about the neighborhood, the community. Here's a new store that just opened. Here's what's going on with the school. I mean, right now, so I live in Muskego, and we have the Waukesha water pipeline runs right through the town. And so there's a lot of construction projects going on, just keeping people in the loop of what's going on in the city, you know? So these are just ideas of things that you can post, but make a system behind it, okay? So Monday is my local content day. Every Monday I share something about what's happening in my local community, right? Wednesdays are gonna be my I Love on Clients day, and I'm gonna post something on Wednesdays about loving on my clients. Fridays, I'm gonna post about upcoming activities for the weekend, right? Lake Country, I know specifically like the Heartland area, always emails out every month of list of things going on in the area. And there's something every weekend, right? Share that stuff out. Be the expert. Okay. So you have to be consistent and you have to do it frequently. So make a system. Now, what's great is that using command, you can schedule posts in advance on Facebook. Okay. You can set up an entire week's worth of posts at once. So I'm not saying spend 2 hours every day on social media. I'm telling you to time block 4 hours on a Thursday to create all the posts for the next 7 days. Decide what day and what time to post them, set it all up, and then walk away and be done with Facebook for the next week. Does that make sense? It can be that systematized. Any thoughts or questions on this?
You were sending this out as well, right?
Yeah, I'll send this out as well.
You guys, I have to sign off to get ready for showing, but it was great to be with you all, and I learned a ton just sitting and chatting with all of you and seeing this. Thank you, Kathleen.
Of course. Thank you, Nada.
Okay, bye, everybody.
Bye, Nada.
Have a great evening.
I'll show you the other social media calendar. I'm not quite a fan of it, but this is a monthly calendar. Now notice this one doesn't have any posts on Fridays. It's just Monday through Thursday posting. If you're out and about doing showings and open houses on the weekends, take pictures, post it, right? You know, if you see some cool tile in a coffee shop when you walk in there, just post it. You know, you don't have to wait till a special day to do things like that. But this one, you know, Monday, the first Monday of the month, they're doing a monthly homeowner checklist. Then on Tuesdays, they're posting one of those this or that's. I saw one go around the other day that was either cupcake or cake. And I literally responded like, if it's chocolate, it's gone. I don't, cake or cupcake, they're the same. If it's got chocolate, it's down the gullet. We're done, you know. Wednesday, story brand. So this is like more a story about their brand. So it can be a little bit of piece of information about you, something personalized, right? Why is your brand the way it is? What makes you unique? Thursday is a featured photo. Then the following Monday, they're doing a hyper local post. So again, we're the community experts. Here's something unique going on in community. A monthly buyer post. So this is probably more of like a tip for buyers, or maybe a first-time home buyer tip, right? So you can kind of read through this one as well. This gives a little bit more, but I think having a monthly post for social media, like a monthly calendar, is maybe a little much. I would just pick, you know, what content can you curate? Can you curate a post that's personal about yourself once a week with a selfie of some sort, right? Can you share something about yourself once a week? If the answer is yes, then just pick a day of the week that's going to be the story behind the brand day, you know, and just be consistent with it. Vendor spotlight, throw that in there every now and then, right? You all have lenders that you like, right? Maybe you've got a flooring guy you like, or a painter, right? You can throw in some vendor spotlights here and there. But if you're posting on social media, both these calendars show us it has to be 4 to 5 times a week. The nice thing is with Facebook, you can set it all up in advance. Who uses social media a lot for posting?
I used to use social media a lot, but I kind of fell back for a while.
Yeah. And, you know, so there's an 80-20 rule, as there's an 80-20 rule of life, right? But with Facebook specifically, your Facebook business page, so, you know, Kathleen Wooten real estate page should be 80% real estate and 20% personal, right? And then the inverse on my personal page, right? So you have to be my friend to see my personal page, and that should be about 80% personal and 20% business. And that combination of those two is what drives people to your, from your, you know, personal page to your business page. You don't want to inundate your personal friends with a bunch of real estate stuff. It's a really good way for them to unfollow you and never see anything. Right? Because they didn't come to be your friend on Facebook to see real estate stuff. They decide to be your friend on Facebook because they want to know you as a person. So keep it personal and just throw in a little real estate here and there. Does that make sense? So you do have to post personal stuff on your business page. Okay. You went out to a party, you took a really great post it on your business page. I think my internet's kind of going in and out right now, so I apologize. Any other questions about social media?
Ways to leverage command for social media posts. Could you touch on that just a little bit?
Yeah, so it's all in campaigns. Okay, the campaigns applet and command. And there is, I'll just kind of pull it up real quick. Let me see here.
I have a 2 o'clock Zoom meeting, so I'm gonna head out.
All right, thanks, Cordell.
All right, thank you.
So when you're in command, on the left-hand side, you're going to go to campaigns, which is the bullhorn. And then at the top, social posts. You can use this calendar right here to schedule out your social posts for really the entire month if you wanted to. So you just, yeah, so you can just click create a post, put a picture, type some words, hit save, and then go the next day and say create a post for that day. You know what I mean? So you can kind of sit here and do an entire week's worth of posts in one day.
And is this is free, right? You don't have to pay. These are like the paid ad Facebook
No,
posts.
these are not the paid ads. These are just to post on your business page.
Cool. Oh, you do have to have a business account though for this to work. It doesn't go to your personal. Okay.
Correct.
Got it.
It even gives you ideas on social posts over here. So if you're like, I don't know what to post today, pop quiz, you know how much your average home is going for, blah, 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 blah. Right? And I can schedule it for whatever day and time I want. So.
Thanks, Kathleen. Gotta head out.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks, guys. Hopefully you got some tidbits, and I'm going to
Yes.
email out everything in a couple of days.
One
Sounds
last
good.
question on the campaigns.
Yeah.
Is this, this, whatever business social media you have linked to your command will get this pushed? This will push to? Or is it only Facebook?
These will do Facebook and probably Instagram as well.
Instagram?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. If you have the accounts, it
Yeah.
would show up down there where it could push. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, guys. Have a great day.
You too. Thanks, Kathleen.
Thank you.
Thank you.